I am Mad Prime, leader of the Mad Squad. I bring to you my review of Transformers 5, The Last Night. What's howlin', Mad Squad? It's Joe, aka Mad Joe FC, and Transformers 5. You know, it sucks because I went back and watched all of the other movies just to prepare for this movie because the trailers had me hyped. And it wasn't good. It was not good. It was great! I absolutely loved it. Oh my gosh, how is it? Why is it getting such bad reviews? Tell me I am not the only one who loved the new Transformers movie. And if I am, then screw you all. Look, I absolutely loved it. Before the movie came out, well, like the day it came out, I was already hearing negative reviews from everybody. Like, that's all I was hearing was negative reviews. Even like from people who were so freaking hyped for this movie. I just saw negative reviews. And my thing is I don't care what other people say, okay? I don't care. My opinion is the only opinion that matters to me. So I was going to see it regardless cuz I was hyped for it, okay? And so after I've seen it for myself, I'm glad I didn't listen to other people's opinions and not decide to see it, because there are literally some people who haven't seen it and won't see the movie now because of other people's opinions. You see, don't let other people's opinions persuade you. You see it. If you know you're hyped for the movie, go see it and then decide whether you like it or not. And I absolutely loved it. So, first, look, this is going to be like just a spoiler review because there's like nothing to spoil, really. There's nothing to spoil, really. We all knew the plot from the trailers, so it's nothing to spoil. So I'm just getting into this. I will say, first, my favorite scene, which was my favorite scene was definitely the Optimus and Bumblebee fight, or it might have been either Optimus and Bumblebee, or either when they were all, not the fight at the beginning of the movie, but the fight when they were kind of like on Cybertron. They had to stop Quintessa, and they had that huge battle, which was kind of like supposed to be kind of reminiscent to the battle at the beginning of the movie. It was kind of supposed to be reminiscent a little because it was the same thing, a battle for two worlds, So that and Optimus and Bumblebee. Optimus and Bumblebee is everything I wanted it to be. It was everything I wanted it to be. And I will say this. Transformers movies are meant to be seen in a movie theater. They are meant to be seen in a movie theater. Either that or on a huge, wide 4K screen TV, okay? That Transformers movies, like, they have to have that kind of treatment. Like, if you watch it on your phone or on your laptop, it's not going to be the same. You need to have a huge 4K screen TV, or either you just need to watch it in theaters. That's the best way to experience it. You won't get the same experience from watching it on a laptop. And I know because I watched the first four on the laptop. So seeing my first one in theaters, it was epic. It was beautiful. The CGI was amazing. It just felt so amazing watching it in theaters, watching the Transformers fight and everything, But yeah, Optimus and Bumblebee was definitely my favorite, and so I guess Bumblebee now has he finally got this. That's something I wanted to happen in the film too. I wanted Bumblebee. I was like, is he going to finally get a permanent voice? And so apparently he now has his original voice back, I guess, from like when before the war for Cybertron happened and everything. Because um, when Bumblebee, snapped Optimus back to his self, Optimus was like, Bumblebee, I haven't heard your voice since the Cybertron war. He said something like that. So that was cool. That was cool. And I also really liked the war at the beginning of the movie with King Arthur and the knights and stuff and all the 12 Transformers knights. That was epic to see um in the theater. Epic fight scene, and I like how it told more story. Each movie, that's what each movie has done, is it tells a bit more story about the Transformers. And look, this is where a lot of people didn't like the movie, is because of the story and because of the human characters. So thing is, human characters is kind of something you have to have in these movies, I feel. Um take what's it called? Godzilla and Kong versus Skull Island, for example. Okay? Take movies like that where the title of the movie is about this other thing, but you have the humans in it too, I guess, to kind of keep it grounded, to have a story, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like humans is a necessity for these type of movies. But like I said, I didn't turn my brain off 1 second. That's what people do in Transformers movies, I feel they turn their brain off. I was focused the whole time. I was listening to the story. Um, especially a lot with the old guy is where you got a lot of your story when Cade and I still can't remember the old guy's name, but when they were at his castle thing, and he was saying that Bumblebee was fought in the 1900s. Remember, some people were wondering if that was Bumblebee in that scene in Germany, I believe it was. That was Bumblebee. So that was cool. That was cool that they've been around for that long and much longer than that. Because at the beginning of the movie, we had the scene with the King Arthur and everything. And speaking of that, I liked the plot. The older Transformer he gave that I can't remember. I'm sorry, I can't remember these names that well, but that old Transformer gave that dude the staff, which they called magic back then, and so it was buried with him, and they had to find this staff before Quintessa found it because she needed it to help her kind of fuse Cybertron with Earth, like remake Cybertron out of Earth, and she needed the staff to help her finish that. So I thought the plot was good. They have to get the staff to stop her from making, you know, Cybertron destroy Earth, stuff like that. I thought it was cool, but a lot of people didn't like it. And a lot of people didn't like the human characters in it, which again I liked because personally a lot of people don't like Cade. Um, can't remember his last name. I told you I'm not the best with names, but I loved Cade's character in Age of Extinction, and I loved him even better in here. Um, I loved the female. Can't remember her name. But I loved her, of course. And one thing I will say, but I will do a video talking about my thoughts on the Transformers movies. Probably in a couple of days, so I don't want to get too into this, but um, I would say I was happy that this movie didn't have too many what feels to be forced sexual jokes and stuff in it. But there was one. It was it was when Cade and the girl were trying to find the staff in like her house, and she was like, I can't get it out, I can't get it out. Now that was funny. Though that was funny versus the other movies where it feels so forced in, the sexual stuff into this movie about robots fighting each other. But I'll get more into how I despise that element of these movies in my thoughts on video in a couple of days. Um, so yeah, I really liked this movie for that purpose. Like I feel it was the movie with the least forced sexual jokes and stuff. And let's see, I liked all of the characters. I liked the new people introduced. I really liked the old guy. I liked Cogman. Cogman was like a show stealer of the movie. Almost all of his lines were funny. He was always doing funny stuff. Bumblebee was good as usual. Especially when Cade and the girl. I'll get to that. But what I was saying is, Cade and the girl were trying to fix Bumblebee's voice, and when it was like a lady's voice and he started swearing and everything, that had all Bumblebee's stuff had everybody laughing in the theater. Whenever Bumblebee would get upset and mad and swear and stuff, that would always have everybody laughing. All of Optimus Prime, all of his scenes. It was because, like I said, this was my first time watching it in a theater, and Optimus is my favorite Transformer. So all of his scenes, it was everything I wanted it to be. He looked crisp, and the CGI was amazing, and it was just everything I wanted it to be. And as I was watching it, I knew this would be a complaint, and it's about the amount of Optimus. Well, look, we got a lot of Optimus at the end, okay? Look, like, we got a lot of Optimus at the end, and we got some good stuff from him. We got him in Bumblebee, a bit of him in Megatron. We got Optimus. It was just packed at the end. But I do admit it kind of felt like the second movie which the second one's my favorite one, by the way. But it did kind of feel like that, where something happened to Optimus and he wasn't there a majority of the movie. Think of it like that, okay? Think of it like the second movie. So, yeah. Either way, it's always a good time when Optimus is on screen, and yeah, everything for him was killer for me. I loved all the scenes he was in. I will say they kind of misled us in the trailers with some stuff. And by that, I'm particularly talking about the Optimus and Megatron scene. Like, what we saw in the trailer is what we got in the movie. That kick that he did to Megatron through the wall, that was it. That was it. But in the trailers, it was like they were going to have this whole fight. But that didn't happen. But either way, I still enjoyed it because after he kicked him, all that stuff that happened after he kicked him was awesome. The kids, I knew, I tried to have hope. I tried, guys. I tried. I tried to have hope that the kids wouldn't ruin it for me, and they didn't ruin the movie for me. They just ruined the one scene they were in. Guys, don't even lie. Don't even front. That scene was completely unnecessary. The scene with the kids in the junkyard thing and stuff, that was completely unnecessary. It was. It was. Look, they went, this is how it happened. It was literally just a group of kids, and they went into this junkyard, I want to go in this junkyard, let's mess around with these Autobots and stuff. That's like, if you heard what they were saying, that's what happened. They literally went in there just to mess around and stuff, and then went into this whole thing, and some of them came to life and had this whole unnecessary battle that happened, and then the girl came and she ruined some stuff for me. She did. Um, I didn't. I thought maybe after that she was gonna be gone, but she stayed throughout the movie, and every time she popped up, she ruined stuff for me. Remember when Cade had that trap set up and to take out Megatron and everything, like in kind of the desert city thing, you know? Um, when she stepped out in front of Megatron, it was like, "Hey, hey, hey! Stop it! Stop it!" I'm sorry. This is my best girl impression. You know, I have a deep voice, but yeah. Anyway, when she was doing all that, why? It's like, why did you do? Why did she do that? You know, I know. Like I said, it was unnecessary. I felt the kids were unnecessary. The whole scene with the kids was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. Like, literally nothing would have. Take it as Spider-Man being in Civil War, for example. Okay, I loved him in Civil War, and it was absolutely awesome that he was in it, and I think he should have been in it. Okay, but let's be completely real and honest. Spider-Man not being in Civil War literally wouldn't have changed anything. Okay? Come on, let's be completely honest here. Okay? That's how that scene with the kids was. Them not being in the movie literally wouldn't have changed anything. Cade still would have been on the run, and, he still would have been on the run. It wouldn't have changed anything. So, I literally just feel like the kids were put in there for no reason at all. And I mean, they weren't even that funny to me either, to be honest. And the girl, like I said, there was one more scene where she was always trying to. It was the scene when they were going to go up to Cybertron to stop Quintessa, and she found her way in the plane that they were going to it in. She was like, "Oh, well, I'm in here," and Kate was like, "No, you need to get off," and she was like, "It's a bit late for that now," and they were already going. Stuff like that. I I tried to have hope, but no, the kids ruined it for me. They did. The kids ruined it for me. Um, I did not. I did not enjoy those parts, and I'm sorry that this rant about the kids has been going on this long, but they it really just ruined it for me. Um, this, they were completely unnecessary. The girl was completely unnecessary. I know. Her family was killed in the Chicago thing from Transformers 3, so that's the reason. That was her reasoning for being mushed into this film. But even though tons of other people's families died, and if she wasn't in it, it wouldn't have changed anything either. Just like the other kids. If her alone, wasn't in this, it wouldn't have changed anything at all. It wouldn't have changed anything at all. Okay? And for those hardcore people who really pay attention to stuff, yes, I know Squeaks blew up that little part of Cybertron, and if she wouldn't have been important, then if she was in there, then Squeaks wouldn't have been able to blow up the thing. Well, look, either way, it would have played out the same. The story would have played out the same, okay? So that's my point is, all the kids, the girl and the rest of the kids, that whole scene, all the scenes with the girl doing stuff, it was all completely unnecessary and not needed for the overall story. It it wasn't. And I'll be back. I might need to turn my camera off and um, export what I have so far on my laptop so that I could continue this because I don't know how long this has been running, so I'll be back. Okay, I am back. So, yeah, it's good I did export what I had onto my laptop so that I could go ahead and continue because it was a little over 20 minutes exactly. So, yeah, it's about the right amount of time. So, we were just talking about the kids and how they were not needed. But passing on from that, I want to talk about the climax. This is probably, and see, that's the reason the second one is my favorite because I loved the climax when they were in the desert, Sam and everything, and we thought he died, and he was brought back to life basically because he did die. He was brought back to life to bring Optimus back. Optimus and the Fallen at that epic battle. I loved how everything looked. That's that's why the second one's my one of the reasons the second one's my favorite is because of the climax, and I think this definitely had. See, I'm trying to decide which climax I liked better, because tell me you didn't. Tell me you loved the climax of this film. I loved the climax. Like it was just so amazing. We got all the Transformers. It was kind of reminiscent. It's supposed to be reminiscent of the battle at the beginning. We have the regular people, the humans, and Transformers all fighting together on Cybertron. Um, and they have to get to Quintessa to stop her, and how everything looked, how Cybertron looked coming onto Earth, like how it visually looked, how the Transformers looked, and then when they were in the place to when they were in the place to get lift the staff and stop Quintessa, when the place was blowing up and stuff, and like everything was spinning and stuff, and the music from the trailer started playing, and the girl and Cade were flying around and everything and like sliding off his stuff. It's like sliding down like death was at every turn, and I got emotional during that scene. That's why, because I got emotional during that scene. Just, remember the music from the trailer, okay? That music was in the climax. I, I don't know. I just got emotional and just seeing all that unfold. Like, I just loved it so much. Like, it's definitely one of my favorite climaxes, and I still can't decide which one I like better between this one and the second one. And also, I got to experience this one in theaters too, so that could be part of it. But I don't know. And, um, I'll save this for my thoughts on video, which will be in a couple of days. But I thought the ending was very, very well, and there was like kind of a end credit scene where they were saying like Unicron and stuff. Now, I heard some people in my theater like gasping and stuff like like it like for me a Marvel movie like how Adam Warlock got teased at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I know how important he is to the comics, so me and my brother were like I heard some of that when excuse me, when Unicron was mentioned. So let me know what that is. Like I've heard some stuff that's like from the shows or something, and it's like very important or something. So let me know what that is in the comments, because I'm into Transformers now. I probably won't ever go back and watch any of the TV shows just because it would take too freaking long. Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm invested in the movies. Okay, the movies are good enough for me. I'm invested in the movies. So just let me know what Unicron is. All right. Um. Yeah. I think I hit everything. I've started kind of doing the thing, deciding which things I want to talk about during a review so that I can be more organized during my reviews. I'm not just spending time pausing, think of what I want to say. I usually what I do now is first I'll rate it, which I forgot to do actually on this review. But first thing I'll do is rate it. Then I will talk about my favorite scene. Then I'll talk about the plot. Then I'll talk about all the characters, or at least characters I enjoyed most. And then I'll talk about scenes, and how I felt afterwards and stuff. So I pretty much hit everything I wanted to hit. And this review actually is longer than I intended it for it to be, which is actually good. Over 20 minutes. So yeah. And now I'm having one of those moments where I pause because I'm trying to. There was something else I was gonna say before I started talking about what I was just talking about. Funny how that happens. Can't remember right now. But yeah, I enjoyed everything. I enjoyed the plot. A lot of people were saying it was like the same generic plot, but I mean, hey, I really liked it. And see, this is why I'm glad I didn't listen to other people's reviews, okay? Because I think I mentioned this at the beginning of this review too, but I'm saying it again because I can't remember if I did or not. But there were some people who wanted to see the film, who now aren't seeing the film because of other people's reviews and other people's opinions. Don't let other people's opinions persuade you, okay? If I listened to other people's reviews, I would have missed out on a film that I really enjoyed. I would have never knew I would have enjoyed it because I wouldn't have seen it. But how most people didn't like it, I loved it, okay? It's my second favorite movie. If I had to rank them now, seeing all of them, the second one's still my favorite. I still have to go with the second as my favorite. Second's first. So in order from most to least favorite for me is second, fifth, yes, fifth, second, fifth, first, fourth, third. Second, fifth, fourth, first, third. Do that for me in the comments now. Rank your favorite. If you've seen The Last Night, which I assume you have if you're this far in the review, then rank them from the first one to the fifth one. Just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in whatever order it is for you in the comments to let me know. But that's my order. A lot of people didn't like the fourth one. I really enjoyed the fourth one because I really enjoyed the Cade character. I really do. A lot of people don't like him, but I really enjoyed him. So yeah. I think that's pretty much it. I still need to rate it. It definitely gets some points off because of the kids. That I know, but that's not nitpicking. The girl kept appearing throughout the film. She was till the end of the film. And she had like almost no relationship with Cade at all. I mean, not that they were supposed to. I don't mean like, you know what I mean. I don't mean. Don't get perverted. I'm talking about just like friendship type thing or anything. She just followed him after what happened with the unnecessary scene with the kids. I'm telling you. See, it gets points off because of the kids. Let's see. I'm gonna give it a solid 9. Okay? Things don't just get a 10 out of 10 from me. Okay? You have to really impress me. The next thing I ever see that will probably get a 10 out of 10 from me will most likely be Avengers Infinity War. Okay? That's probably the next time you will hear 10 out of 10 come out of my mouth. Because I'm very critiquey. I'm very nitpicky. So, the kids, I would say the lack of Optimus, but they made it up for me at the end, at the climax, because we got to see a whole lot of Optimus. We got to see Optimus and Bumblebee, Optimus and Megatron, and just a lot of Optimus at the end, okay? So, it was made up for me, okay? Well, no, hold up. They did misguide me in the trailer. I thought there would have been a bit more of a fight with Optimus and Megatron. And the scene where he did the with his sword, all of that we saw in the trailer, that's pretty much all that happened in the movie. I thought there would be more to that fight as well. So, due to the kids, and due to not the lack of Optimus, because he was packed at the end, but due to his short fight scenes between Megatron and his minions, it gets a solid 9. 5 points taken away because of the kids. 5 points taken away because of the 2 fight scenes that I thought there would be more of between Optimus. 2.5 taken away from I thought there would be more of Optimus and Megatron. And 2.5 taken away, I thought there would be more of Optimus and Megatron's goons. So, yeah, total that's 5 points. So, solid 9 out of 10. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed all the characters, except the kids. I enjoyed the human people, humans, the story, because, I don't just turn my brain off in these movies like half of you probably do. I actually pay attention to the story. I get involved with the characters. So yeah, it gets a solid 9 from me, and now know why it doesn't get the extra 10 points. I just explained that. So, yeah. Give me your honest right. Not what everyone else is saying. Not what everyone else is saying. Give me your honest opinion of it. If you thought it was bad, you thought it was bad. If you thought it was good, you thought it was good. I thought it was good. You heard me. A solid 9 out of 10. Okay? And it's my second favorite in the franchise. So, if you enjoyed my review, let me know what you thought. Links to all of my social media will be down below in the description box. If you enjoyed this video, give the like button a thumbs up, share it, and tap subscribe to join the Mad Squad on our journey to 10,000 subscribers. I am Mad Prime. And after seeing Transformers The Last Night, I can say... Oh, there is one more thing I wanted to say, speaking of the sword. It was cool how the thing on Cade, that circle thing that was all on him, it turned into that sword and he stopped Megatron from killing Optimus. That was hot. That was pretty hot. But, other than that, after seeing The Last Night, I can say it does not deserve all the negativity it has been getting. I hope you all have a marvelous day. Mad out.